Good morning, students. Moving to the fourth chapter, that is chemical kinetics. We have seen about the introduction, we have seen about order of reaction, we have seen the unit of rate constant, we saw molecularity. So our next topic will be elementary reaction and complex reaction. Elementary reaction and complex reaction. What is elementary reaction? We know about molecularity, right? Like how many number of molecules of reactants appear in a proper stoichiometric equation is called as molecularity of a reaction. And what is elementary reaction? If a chemical reaction takes place in a single step, then it is called as elementary reaction. So what is an elementary reaction, children? Elementary reaction is defined as a chemical reaction which takes place in a single step is called as elementary reaction. Say for example, ammonium nitrate decomposes to give you nitrogen and water. Here molecule involved, the number of molecule of reactant is ammonium nitrate, so molecularity is 1. Consider the second reaction where I have indicated two reactants, that is H2 plus I2 giving rise to hydrogen iodide. Here how many molecules are involved? Two molecules, that is hydrogen molecule and iodic molecule are involved. So here the molecularity is 2. So what is elementary reaction? Elementary reaction takes place in a single step. I can call both of these reaction as elementary reactions too, because they both take place in a single step, but molecularity is different. Molecularity indicates the number of molecules of reactants. And what is elementary reaction which takes place in a single step? What is complex reaction? See, name itself, it's not a simple reaction, it's going to be a complicated reaction. Now, a reaction which takes place in a number of steps is called as complex reaction. It won't complete in one step. It's not a direct reaction. It is going to follow multiple steps in order to get the product. So those reactions are called as complex reaction. Can you take the example of a hydrogen peroxide's decomposition? Decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. I have iodine. In the presence of iodine, the reaction is happening. So H2O2 plus iodine give rise to water plus IO. Again your water and IO react to give you water plus iodine plus oxygen. Your first reaction may be a slow reaction and the second reaction takes place very fast to give you the products. See, the slow reaction is the rate determining step of a reaction. In a complex reaction, the reaction proceeds or it takes several steps to get the desired product. But in a complex reaction, some reactions will happen slowly and some reaction happens little faster. But which is going to be the rate determining step? Your slowest reaction is going to be the rate determining step of a complex reaction. Now this slide is going to tell you the difference between order. What is the difference between the order of a reaction and what is the molecularity of a reaction? We have seen first order, second order. And what is unimolecular reaction and bimolecular reaction? What is the difference? See, what is the order of a reaction? Yeah, this slide is going to tell you the difference between order of reaction and the molecularity of a reaction. What is order? Order is nothing but a sum of exponents which are present in the concentration terms, which are present on the top of the concentration terms. So what is order? It is a sum of powers of the concentration terms. What is molecularity? It is number of reacting species which are going to colloid simultaneously. How many reacting molecules are present? Whether they will be reacting simultaneously, they will colloid simultaneously to give you the product is the definition for molecularity. And order is an experimentally determined value while your molecularity is a theoretical concept. It may be a whole number, fraction or zero, but your molecularity should always be the whole number. And it gives some idea about the reaction mechanism, but it won't, knowing the number of molecules present will not give you a clear-cut idea about the mechanism of rate of reaction. And what is integrated rate reaction? What is integrated rate equation? We have already seen zero order, first order and second order. And what is this integrated rate equation? See, zero order reaction is nothing but rate of reaction proportional to the zero power of the concentration of the reactant. Say for example, small a capital A plus small b capital B giving rise to the product. Now I am going to ask you what is the rate constant, or what is write the zero order reaction. Then rate constant is equal to, or rate of a reaction is equal to rate constant K into concentration A the whole small a. What is small a value? Since it is a zero order reaction, I have to indicate it with 0. See, the same reaction, reactant R is giving rise to reactant product P. Reactant R is giving rise to product P. How will I represent the rate of a reaction? I should represent R as minus. Why? Because its rate is, it is consumed in the reaction. So minus dr by dt is equal to K into R0. Okay, minus dr by dt. As time consumes, the concentration of reactant decreases. It is getting consumed in the reaction. So I am going to indicate this term, that is minus dr by dt is equal to K into R0, since it is a zero order reaction. I can otherwise write that as minus dr by dt is equal to K, where dr is equal to minus K dt. I have just rearranged the reaction. When you are just going through this video, try to write in your notebook after listening to this. Don't look into the video. First look into the video, then mute it, then write the reaction on your own. So I am explaining zero order reaction. What is the reaction? Reactant R giving rise to the product P. Here reactant's concentration is decreasing as time consumes, so I am representing as minus dr by dt, and here it is K into R0 indicating the zero order reaction. How I have rearranged the reaction. So dr is equal to minus K into dt. Now I am going to integrate both the sides. So what happens? Concentration R is equal to minus KT. I am introducing a constant. This is called as constant of integration. Because I have integrated the reaction, I am introducing the constant I, which is called as constant of integration. What is that called? Constant of integration. Now when the time t is equal to 0, then the concentration of reactant R is equal to R0. Correct? No? At initial stage, at the time 0, what is the concentration of reactant R? It should be 0. Where R is nothing but initial concentration of the reaction. Now, I am going to substitute the value in the equation 1. Which is your equation 1? R is equal to minus KT plus I. K into T is equal to 0 plus I. So what is initial concentration of R? It is equal to integration constant. Okay. Initial concentration R is equal to integration constant. Now I know the value of R0. So I am going to substitute this value in equation 1. This is equation 1, right? R0 is equal to minus KT plus, what is I? I is nothing but R0. So I have substituted in the equation 1. Now I need to further simplify the reaction. I'll be getting the rate constant as K is equal to R0 minus R by T. So zero order reactions are uncommon. We won't be getting them very commonly. Where you can see zero order reaction under special conditions where they are catalyzed by enzymes and reaction which specially occur on the metal surfaces. So when zero order reactions are common, they occur only in two special conditions: when they are catalyzed by enzyme and when they occur on the surface of the metal. Now this is an example for zero order reaction where decomposition of ammonia, that is 2NH3 gives N2 plus 3H2. And what is the rate of reaction? How will you indicate the zero order reaction? I'll be indicating rate constant K, then write the concentration of the reactant, indicate it with 0, which is nothing but K. Okay. This is your zero order reaction. Now I have drawn a graph with the concentration of the reactant and time. Okay, x and y axis I have indicated. I have got a slope as K and intercept as R0. So this is the final equation which I got from that. I have written, see what is the equation for straight line where y is equal to mx plus c. So here m is nothing but your slope and c is nothing but your intercept. When I am going to substitute my values here, I got slope as minus K and intercept as concentration R0. Now see, clearly about zero order reaction, where they occur, what are the two special conditions where we'll be getting zero order reaction, how we integrated the zero order reaction and how we got the final end. In the same way we need to do for first order reaction. Okay. So in this class of reaction, here the rate of reaction is proportional to first power of concentration of reactant. How I denoted zero order reaction? Rate of reaction is equal to K into concentration of reactant power 0. The same way, but instead of power 0, write 1 power. This is called as first order reaction. Say the reaction R is equal to P, reactant giving rise to product P. What happens when the time consumes? Reactant concentration decreases. So how will I write? Minus dr by dt. So minus dr by dt is equal to K into R, where to the power I need to indicate 1 because this is a zero order reaction. I can write this reaction as minus dr by dt is equal to K into dt. So dr by R is equal to minus K into dt. Now need to integrate. This is a step where I am going to introduce the integration constant I. So log R is equal to minus Kt plus I. What is I? I is nothing but integration constant. Now at time period 0, what happens to the concentration of R? The concentration of R will be R suffix 0. This is nothing but initial concentration of the reactant. Now substitute this value in equation 1. So what happens to equation 1? Log R0 is equal to minus K into T is 0, initial concentration, plus I. So now log R0 is equal to I. Minus K into 0 is 0, so I have written I like that. Now substitute the value I in equation 1. What will I get? In value of I is log R0. Now try to rearrange the reaction. If I rearrange the reaction, I am getting rate constant as 1 by T log R0 by R, where log 2 is equal to 2.303 T log R0 by R. This is the rate constant of first order reaction. This is the rate constant of first order reaction. As I discussed with zero order reaction, need to draw a graph with the time against the reactant. I got a slope as K by 2.303 and this is nothing but your slope. Okay. So we have seen the integration of zero order reaction and first order reaction. Next step is half-life of a reaction. What is the half-life of a reaction? See, half-life of a reaction is nothing but time period where the concentration of reactant is reduced to 1/2 of its initial concentration. So half-life is represented with the term T 1 by half. From the name, get the clue. Time required for the concentration of the reactant to become half. For them to reduce into half, what is the time required is called as half-life of a reaction. Let me repeat, what is half-life of a reaction? Half-life of a reaction is time period at which the concentration of the reactant is reduced to half of its initial concentration. It is represented as T half. Now, for a zero order reaction, what is the rate constant of a reaction given as this is the rate constant of a reaction? Now, what happens to time T half? This is at initial concentration. If time is equal to T half, what happens to the reaction? Okay. Now here the rate constant at T half becomes T half is equal to R0 by 2K. So what I want to mention here is, it's very clear that your half life period or half time period of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration of the reactant and it is inversely proportional to the rate constant. Okay, this is an important reaction which we have to remember. So in a zero order reaction, the half-life of a reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration of a reactant and it is inversely proportional to the rate constant. So this is your half period. Now I explained about zero order reaction. Now what happens to the first order reaction? What is the half rate or half-life of a reaction for first order reaction? We know this is the reaction for first order reaction, and 2.303 log R0 by R is equal to Kt. This is at half-life where R initial concentration R is equal to R0 by 2. Now I am going to substitute R with R by 2, which is nothing but your half-life. So 2.303 log R0 by 1 by 2 R, I have taken this as constant, so Kt into 1 by half. So 2.303 log 2 is equal to Kt half. 2.303 log 2 value is 0.693, which is nothing but Kt half. So from this, what is T half? T T half is equal to 0.693 by K. So your half-life of first order reaction is independent of initial concentration. It is inversely proportional to rate constant, but it is in no way related to the concentration of first order reaction. So what is the difference between half-life of first order and zero order reaction? Your zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant, and it is inversely proportional to the rate constant, while your half-life of first order reaction is independent of initial concentration. Now, what is pseudo first order reaction? What is pseudo first order reaction? See, reaction which appear to be higher order but follow lower order kinetics is called a pseudo order reaction. They appear to be higher order, but generally what they follow? They follow lower order kinetics is called a pseudo. Pseudo means false, right? So they appear to be higher order kinetics, but generally they follow lower order kinetics. This is called a pseudo first order reaction. Say for example, acid catalyzed hydrolysis of ethyl acetate. What is the formula for acetate? CH, acetic acid, CH3COOH is the formula for acetic acid. I am going to remove H and I am going to replace with ethyl group, that is C2H5, then it is ethyl acetate. CH3COOH is acetic acid, removed H and added C2H5, so this is ethyl acetate. When I add water molecule, what happens? I will be getting acetic acid and ethanol. Now what is the rate of reaction? Rate of reaction is equal to rate constant into concentration of the reactant. Done. Now a second example for pseudo first order reaction is inversion of cane sugar. The formula is C12H22O11. What is the formula for glucose? C6H12O6. Just try to do some changes, that is instead of C6, C12. H22O11. When I hydrolyze with water molecule, I will be getting 2 glucose molecule. What is the rate of reaction here? Rate of reaction is equal to rate constant K into cane sugar into the concentration of cane sugar. So these two are the examples for pseudo first order reaction. What is pseudo first order? It's a false fellow. So he appeared to be higher order, but generally he follows lower order kinetics. Now moving to the second factors which affect the rate of a reaction. Our second factor is nothing but temperature. Till now we have seen how concentration played a role in the rate of a reaction. So our second step is temperature. How our rate of reaction is dependent on temperature. Always the rate of reaction increases with the temperature. How? With 10 degrees centigrade rise in temperature, my rate of the reaction gets doubled. So how concentration of reactant increases, rate of reaction increases. If temperature increases, rate of reaction increases. At what extent? If I increase the temperature of reaction to 10 degrees, then my reaction rate is doubled. So for every 10 degrees rise in temperature, my reaction rate is doubled. Okay. Now the ratio between rate constant at two temperatures differing by 10 degree is called as temperature coefficient of a reaction. So what is temperature coefficient? Ratio between your rate constant at two temperatures which are differing by 10 degree. Say for example, I have carried out a reaction at 0 degrees. Okay, what is the rate constant? Now I have increased the temperature to 10 degrees Celsius. Now I have carried out the reaction. I got a rate constant. So the ratio of rate constant of 0 degree centigrade reaction and the 10 degree centigrade reaction, the ratio between these two, when the difference in temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, then that is called as temperature coefficient of a reaction. Now what is Arrhenius equation? Your Arrhenius equation will be relating your rate constant and temperature. Actually your Arrhenius equation and activation energy is there only for internal assessment. It is not there for board exam. But since I am dealing the rate of reaction with the temperature, I need to include this topic. So I am just explaining it little detail. But this is not there for final board exam. It's there for internal assessment. So when what is Arrhenius equation? An equation which is going to relate your temperature and the rate constant, where K is equal to AE minus EART. K is rate constant. What is EA? EA is nothing but activation energy. R is universal gas constant. T is temperature. A is nothing but Arrhenius parameter. What is A? A is nothing but your Arrhenius parameter. Now I told you here A means activation energy. What is that? What is activation energy means? See, under complex reactions, I have told you a concept that reaction will be taking place in several steps in order to get the final product. Say for example, not all reaction takes place in single step to give you product. There are a reaction where your reactants combine to give you an intermediate compound. That intermediate compound is an unstable compound. It is not stable, so it cannot exist for long time. So it immediately decomposes, it immediately breaks down to give you the product. So the energy required to form that unstable compound is called as activation energy. Okay children, let me repeat what is activation energy. According to Arrhenius, a reaction can take place only when the reactant molecules colloid to form unstable intermediate, that is called as activated complex. This activated complex is an unstable intermediate compound. It should decompose immediately or it should break down to give me product. So this exists for short period of time, then it breaks up to form the product. And the amount of energy required to form this intermediate is called as activation energy. Okay, this is the progress of a reaction where reactants combine to give you activated complex. This is an unstable product, and amount of energy required to form this activated complex is called as activation energy. This breaks to give you the product. Okay, this is how the reaction progress. Activation energy is not there for final exam, but since we are dealing the relationship between temperature and the rate of reaction, we need to include that topic. Thank you children.